Hey everyone, I'm Lexi Duda, and you're listening to On a Water Break in Rhinestones, a podcast where I'm bringing you all the unique experiences from twirlers from all over. Today, I have with me former College Miss Major of America from Arizona State University, Emma Carr. Hi, Emma.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for joining me today. So I want to get straight into it. Tell everybody how long you've been twirling and how you got started into it.
So I have been twirling since I was 7 years old, so quite a long time. I kind of got started just through a rec center locally in Colorado, and then I did parades and stuff like that for a really long time. And then from there, I kind of decided I wanted to start really competing and getting more into that, and I wanted to twirl in college. So that's when I started kind of taking it to the next level and really taking it more seriously.
So you're from Colorado, but you go to school in Arizona.
Yes.
How far is that away? Is that like a drive or more like a plane away when you want to go home?
It's a 14-ish hour drive, so I usually fly, but the flights are super cheap, so it's really nice.
Okay, that's good. At least it's still you're able to get back and forth when you need. So now let's talk a little bit about your Miss Major out of America journey. So you, for people who don't know, you had the crown for an entire year. You traveled all over. So what was kind of the best experience from that year?
It was such an amazing year. It's so hard to just pick one specific experience, but I think overall, just being able to be the role model for all the younger twirlers and someone that, like, when I was little, I always looked up to the Miss Majorettes of America as my role model. So it was just kind of a surreal experience to be that person. And was able to, perform my farewell and everything, just having all the little girls tell me that it inspired them and stuff like that just meant more to me than I could ever even imagine.
For sure. So what was going through your head when you got crowned? I know at this point it's been a little bit over a year, but I'm sure you still remember the moments that your name was being announced and everything.
Yes, it was so crazy. I was physically shaking because I was so nervous, and it was just something I didn't expect. My goal was top 3 going into it, and then just winning was absolutely insane.
I'd say you far exceeded that goal.
Yes.
Which is great. So this past July, you've actually crowned a new College Miss Major out of America, Gabby Seed, and you also helped crown the younger divisions. So Teenage Miss Majorette, Junior, Preteen, Juvenile, and Tiny Tot.
Yes.
So they're about to step into their reign for the year. Do you have any advice to them going forward for what to kind of expect, or just any advice going into it?
I think my biggest advice would be to just really take time to talk to all the little girls and boys that come up to you and answer every DM you get on Instagram, and really just take a hold of every opportunity that comes near you. I was actually the Twirling to Fight Cancer ambassador as well. And that was a really cool experience because I was able to kind of use my title to raise money for a good cause as well. And so just all the experiences, really take them in.
What did you do? Can you explain a little bit more how you were the Twirling to Fight Cancer ambassador and what you did with that?
So basically they pick a college ambassador, and I was that person last year. So what I decided to do with that is I ran multiple camps virtually and in person throughout the year. And then we would just donate all the money we made to Twirling to Fight Cancer.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool.
It was so fun.
Okay, now let's turn a little bit to college. So you're a senior, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about what's your major and what do you plan to do once you finish school?
I am a biomedical science major, and I plan to attend PA school after I graduate. I'll probably take a gap year to get all my clinical hours and everything like that. But yes, I'm really into medicine and the medical field, so I'm excited about that.
When you're planning kind of that next step, is that a type of schooling where you could end up literally anywhere in the U.S.?
Yes.
Or you're trying to kind of narrow it in?
Yeah, it's really wherever I get into school, I'll go. So I'm not sure where I'll end up, but we'll see.
Well, definitely a new adventure, a different adventure. You have no idea where you'll end up. That's awesome. Okay, let's talk about twirling for your school. So was your first year, did you guys have a full football season?
So I actually didn't twirl my freshman year because ASU didn't take a twirler that year. There wasn't any spots open, but I still committed to this school just because it's really where I wanted to go. And that was hard because obviously I wanted to twirl in college. So that was a difficult decision, but I didn't twirl my freshman year, and that was COVID. So I didn't miss a lot, I guess.
Yeah.
They had an opening my sophomore year, and thankfully I auditioned and made it that year. So this is my third season with the band.
Okay, awesome. Tell us about that audition process. How does it work at ASU? Because every school is completely different. The process from the beginning to the end is completely different, I think, throughout the U.S. So how was it like for you?
So for me, it was a tiny bit different just because of COVID. So mine was a video audition, but currently what we do is we send out a routine for all the people to learn that are auditioning. And it's a down the field and then I believe a multiple baton section. And so when they send those in, our band director and our advisor watches them and picks whether or not they get a live audition. And then if they get a live audition, they come in and do a 1 baton routine and then a 2, 3, 4 baton routine and an interview.
Okay, so when you guys twirl on the field, because it's you and Kylie this year, right? Two of you? Okay, so when you guys twirl on the field, is it like, so some schools, their whole pregame is twirling together, but then their halftime is completely separate. But then there's other schools where it's kind of just mixed in, where you twirl kind of together when it's like convenient, if the spaces are tight. How does it work for you guys?
Yeah, so I would say more for pregame, we twirl completely together. We have a little bit of time when we go off on our own, but for the most part, we're together. And then during halftime, we're completely separate. Sometimes our band director will have us come together for a little like exchange moment or something like that. But other than that, we're completely separate. So it's fun being able to have like the teammate aspect of it, but also being able to do our own individual things.
Yeah. When you guys get drill, like for halftime, you guys do a new halftime every week, correct?
Yes.
Or every home game, I guess.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels like every week.
I know.
But you get new drills. So are you guys in charge of picking your own spots, or how does that kind of work out?
So he actually does give us dots, and then which I know is kind of different than a lot of schools, but we do actually get dots, and then he'll just kind of tell us sometimes if you need to move, go ahead. But there will be times when we're pretty packed in between the band and, just try not to hit anyone. But yeah, we do get dots.
That's where the rolls come in, and you're like, okay,
exactly.
The ton's not going to go too high this time.
Hey everyone, it's Ashlee from On Our Water Break. And while you're getting to know some amazing twirlers with our host Lexi Duda, there's a whole other show happening each week with tons of hosts from all over the marching arts activities, which includes winds, percussion, color guard, and twirling. So join me and all my friends to talk about all the things you and your friends are talking about on a water break. Now back to Lexi.
So do you have like a top 3 memories from different performances that has to do with your school?
I feel like that's so hard. I think my favorite thing is definitely pregame, every game. At the end, we make a pitchfork on the field and we stand there and watch like the hype video and everything. And it's this video where Sparky comes in and he stomps on the opposing team's bus and the stadium goes crazy. So that's honestly my favorite part of every single game, because I just like stand there and take everything in, because this is the school I wanted to twirl for so long, and to just actually be standing on the field and having that dream come true. Like I just love being able to take that in and like be thankful for that.
Definitely surreal.
Yes.
Do you have any other performances? So that's one. Do you got 2 more for me?
Let's see. The Las Vegas Bowl. We actually did that in 2019. That was in the brand new Raiders Stadium.
Oh,
so it was so cool to be able to perform on that field. It was so much fun. That was definitely my second favorite one. And then let me think. I think probably my very first performance as an ASU feature twirler, it was a freshman welcome, but just hearing the band like live and being able to twirl with them in front of a crowd for the very first time was just so unforgettable. That was so
I feel like emotions usually start running during that, and you don't, it's one of those things where you don't expect your emotions to go crazy. You're already so excited because you're like, oh wow, like I finally like got to my dream. Like, this is awesome. I love this. And then just the band starts going and you're just twirling and you're just like, oh my goodness, like this is actually happening.
Exactly. There's no feeling like it when the band starts playing and you're just, it's crazy.
Yeah. So do you have any advice? So we're going to do a couple different advice things. So next year, there's spots available at ASU.
Yes.
So what would you say for somebody that's wants to try out there? What advice would you give them going into the tryout process?
The first piece of advice I would say is to really make sure that they come and tour the school and really love it, because I think that's something that some people might put on the back burner and just think about where they want to twirl and not necessarily where they want to go to school. So I think it's really important to love the school that you're auditioning for. And obviously a lot of band directors look for that too. So to just make sure you know about the programs at the school and things other than just twirling. And then honestly, the second piece of advice I would just say is to like treat your audition as a performance instead of an audition so that you don't get as nervous and just have fun with it.
Especially because, like, if this is a school that you want to be at for 4 years and you want to be so excited on the field every time you take it, you're only going to be that excited if you're fully in love with your atmosphere.
Exactly, yes.
So if you're not in love with where you're at, it's going to be a difficult 4 years.
Right, yes.
And you always want to put your best foot forward. So it's a lot easier to do that if you're excited for what's ahead of you.
Yes. Can't go to a school that you don't like and twirl it.
Exactly. Okay, so then what, beyond just twirling at ASU, what other advice do you have for either or high school seniors who want to go into twirling in college and just twirlers from all over, all ages?
This sounds so like cliche, but honestly, like believing in yourself and like having faith that you can accomplish your goals, that's something I struggled with for the longest time. And when I actually started having confidence in myself and believing in my abilities is when I really saw my twirling go to the next level. So I think that's so incredibly important.
Okay, to wrap it up, one last question. Do you have a favorite trick to do on the field?
Favorite trick?
Your go-to.
I think my favorite would probably be my leg kick double trick.
Oh, I love that one.
Because everyone's like, whoa, she just kicked it off her leg.
Yeah, I would definitely get the reaction from throughout the stadium. I could tell.
Exactly. They don't care what I do under it. They're like, she kicked it off her leg.
You're like, wow, that must hurt. And you're like, actually, I built up some resistance right there.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for joining me today. Good luck on the rest of your senior year. I hope that the rest of football season goes great. And hopefully it's not too hot because I feel like those games can get pretty toasty.
Oh, yeah. Our last game was over 100.
Oh, my gosh. I could not imagine that. I can barely do, I feel like 80, 85. Yeah. Like, it's too hot for me. For everybody listening, thank you for listening to this week's episode. I'm Lexi Duda, and I have my guest, Emma Carr. Be sure to follow both of us on social media. Emma's is at Emma Carr __. I'm Lexi _Duda. And don't forget to follow On a Water Break. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much for having me.